quarter-liter cruise-off. Things don't change very often in 250 cubic centimeters cruiser land, but that doesn't make the players any less important for a newer rider looking for something other than a 250 cubic centimeters sporty-type bike. And so, we decided to conduct a MO shootout. While we attempted to gather all three of the models currently in production, the Honda Rebel wasn't available. When a bike has been unchanged for as many years as the Rebel, there's no incentive for a manufacturer to incur the expense of putting one in the media pool. So, despite their best efforts to scare one up from other departments within American Honda, it wasn't possible. Without the 250 cubic centimeters parallel twin, this shootout became a battle of the quarter-liter V-twins. That's okay. The Hyosung GV250 Aquila, $3,999, and the Star V-Star 250, $4,340, both have enough to offer to make this an interesting experience. Honda Rebel Review. The 250 cruiser class generally appeals to a certain type of rider, namely, new riders, smaller riders, thrifty riders, or some combination of the above. Troy is able to pull off the thrifty rider component, but Evans falls into none of the categories and was relegated to photo duties for our day of photo shooting. We decided to enlist someone who could better fulfill the requirements of the kind of rider these bikes are built for. Fortunately, we were able to find Mina Alikani, a novice rider with 1.5 years experience and owner of a 2015 Harley-Davidson Sportster. Being petite, she also fits the size requirement. Fortuitously, as a professional musician, Mina was available during the business day to go play with test motorcycles with us. Check out Mina's band website Mina and the Southern Syrup and the official, motorcycle featuring video from her just released EP, which is conveniently available on iTunes. Our testing regimen for the pair of 250 V-twins was set up around the type of riding a newer rider might do. We spent most of our time riding around suburbia and filtering through traffic of varying degrees. We even threw in some parking lot practice of cone weaves to see how easy this pair of bikes was to maneuver. He has a point. The GV250 makes a great first impression as you walk up to the bike, but closer inspection reveals a myriad of miscues and cost-cutting measures. Most notably, the Hyosung's exhaust system has oxygen sensors sticking out of the top of both headers rather than being tucked away under the bike. To make matters worse, the chrome heat shield meant to protect the rider from the oxygen sensors looks tack welded on, and the joint to the main pipe has some of the worst chrome we've ever seen. Then you look at the nice two-tone seat, the chrome fork covers, and the paint and realize that Hyosung has the capability to pull the details off but, for some reason, didn't. Troy agrees with her, especially when keeping the target audience new riders in mind, noting, the Star doesn't present any surprises. By that I mean the bike starts up on the first button press, once you remember to use the choke, the clutch is very forgiving, gear shifts are supremely easy, and you always find neutral when you flick your toe up from first gear. Conversely, sometimes the Hyosung requires you hold down the starter button longer than the Star, the clutch is grabby, and neutral doesn't always want to be found. As the outlier in the group, Evans held a different opinion. As I said before, I like the beefy cruiser look. Although I'm not opposed to narrow, stripped-down cruisers, I feel the look should be warranted by the bike's performance, as with the Star Bolt. The rest of the Hyosung's performance did nothing to dissuade my predisposition, so it gets my vote. Although I'm way out of the target demographic, these 2/4-liter cruisers were pleasantly surprising when it came to bombing around town, running errands and other quick, short jaunts. I could easily see commuting on one, in a pinch, and that was unexpected to me.